Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. I'll wait for some people to sign on. Have some coffee while I wait. Hi, Tori. Hi, Tiffany. How are you guys doing today? Hi, Emily. Hey, Matt. I know, so it will not, I don't know, something has changed and it won't let me ever comment outside of the church page from my phone. Probably could do it from my laptop. Hi, Naomi. So I want to talk about self-kindness today and like sort of the theological, the dense, well, I don't want to say dense, maybe the robust theological hold on, sorry, I'm losing my thought. Yeah, it's weird. Hi, Mom. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Sarah. While we're waiting on people to sign on, I want to show you guys my dress. You can't really see it. You can only see parts of it, and it looks like a sack on me right now, but it does look cooler than this in real life. But this dress is tied to a memory. Oh my gosh, so is this necklace. 3 years ago this month, Lyle and I got to go to Italy for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and it was so great. It was such a treat to be able to do that, and I don't think I've been out of the country since then, or overseas anyway. And gosh, everything makes me so emotional right now. I feel like just because life is so different right now. And I haven't worn this dress since probably last summer because I don't know, don't really get dressed for real these days very much. And I saw it and it just was tied to such a strong memory that I put it on. And I'm someone who takes joy in like every little thing having as much meaning as possible. I like to have, I have like a whole theology of the dish towel. Ooh, I should share that for coffee. I'll save it for another coffee. And I just love having memories tied to things so that they're not just things, but there's some sort of sacred energy around them. Okay, well, gosh, we've got a good bit of people watching. Hi, Jana, for a random Thursday in August. So I'm just gonna get started. And I have a question for you today. And that question is, have you been kind to yourself lately? Have you? Life is extra stressful right now. There's a lot going on. And I wanna know if you've been kind to yourself. Really. And I don't just mean, did you take a hot bath? Or did you do something indulgent? Or did you eat some extra slices of pizza? Or whatever kind of thing that we tend to talk about when we talk about self-care, which are all great things, by the way. I love self-care and I love indulgent self-care. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, Emily. I'm talking about, have you been kind to yourself? Have you treated yourself with grace and with compassion and with love? Have you forgiven yourself when you've done A, B, or C, or when you haven't done A, B, or C? Have you extended the same care and compassion that you extend toward others to yourself? Yeah, little Matthew. Every time Matt shares a piece of his story, I want to weep for little Matthew. I'm so amazed at the healing that I've witnessed just from knowing your story, Matt. And I've been thinking about little Aurelia, like just the last several days and what healing I need. So, you know, that's something that I think is good to do. And I talked about, I think last time I was on for coffee. And Brittany just said she tends to catch herself if she says something unkind to herself and change it around to be self-compassionate. There's my sis. Hey, sis. Yeah. Have you been kind to yourself? That's such an important question, right? And everyone's saying, no, we haven't been. A lot of us struggle with being kind to ourselves. I believe that when we're kinder to ourselves, we can be kinder to others. And so I want to talk about it in just a little bit, kind of short moment, pause in the day together. I want to talk about why it's so important to be kind to ourselves. And this was sort of inspired because a close family member of mine is struggling a lot right now with mental health issues. And as always, that's a lifelong struggle for a lot of us. And the thing that I've noticed the most about her situation is that she is just so hard on herself, so unkind to herself through it. And I feel that it's something that a lot of us struggle with. Some of us don't struggle with it as deeply, but it's still really good to think about the messages that we send ourselves. So I want to talk about self-kindness, and for me, it's rooted in Imago Dei theology. You guys, if any of you in our community that have been here for any length of time know that Imago Dei theology is something I talk about a lot. It's a part of my personal canon. It's like probably at the core of it if I had to explain all my beliefs. But Imago Dei theology and self-kindness. Now, Imago Dei, of course, sorry if I'm preaching to the choir here, simply means the image of God. And Imago Dei theology is the idea that we were made in the image of God and that the Spirit of God lives in us. And so I believe this. I believe that we were all created in the image of God. I actually believe the trees were made in the image of God. The animals were made, all of creation was made in the image of God. But as humans, as humankind, we were made in the image of God. And the Spirit of God, according to Scripture all over the Bible and all over sacred text, is this idea that the Spirit of God is with us, God with us. And Pentecost, the Holy Spirit, there's so many ways to think about it. But I believe in this. I believe in this Imago Dei premise so much, and I believe that it means that our bodies and our souls and every bit of us, every part of our being is touched by God. We are divinely touched. And because of this, we are able to love and we need to love. And love is like the most powerful thing that we could do or receive, right? But I think, some of us struggle with loving ourselves. And I think a lot of our theology, harmful theology that we inherited, told us that we were sinful and we were bad. And we can't trust our own hearts. Our hearts are deceitful. We can't trust. Well, I don't buy any of that. In fact, I think that every bit of that narrative was created as a domination system used to control the masses through doctrine, because one of the most powerful ways people can be controlled is through the spiritual, through doctrine, through kind of like a mental manipulation, and power can be held over the masses this way. And so it's really great. It really benefits domination systems for us to not trust ourselves, for us to not love ourselves, for us to be filled with shame and fear as opposed to power and liberation and love. And so I take Imago Dei theology and I fill my theological paradigm with that theology. That's what informs me. And all the bullshit about like not being able to trust our own hearts, about us being filled with sin and depraved, like I'm just throwing it out the window. Look, Here's my window. Throwing it out there. So, I want to give you a little gift, okay? Something, a little nugget. Thank you, Brittany. And that nugget comes from 1 Corinthians 13, okay? This is one of those texts that just gets so overused that it, for no reason at all, it can just trigger us, even though it's literally just about love. But right, it just gets so overused. But let's listen to it with fresh ears. Just a little part of it. This is the New Revised Standard Edition, by the way. Big Red, Jana says, yes, this is our seminary Bible. Oh my God, like a chunk of the pages just fell out. Hold on. Okay, it's just like the end part. No actual text was harmed in this filming of this video. All right, are you listening? Just listen real quick. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains but don't have love, I'm nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast but don't have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It doesn't insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing. It rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. We know that God is love. We know that we were made in the image of God and that the Spirit of God lives in us. And so I think it wouldn't hurt to read this a different way sometimes when we need to. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love for myself, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love for myself, I'm nothing. If I give away everything, all my possessions, if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but I don't have love for it, I don't have love for myself, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Let's be patient with ourselves today. Love is kind. Let's be kind to ourselves today. Love's not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. Let's love ourselves today by protecting our energy, by protecting our boundaries. Love rejoices in the truth, and it never ends. And it lives in us, and we are little pieces of the divine walking around right now. And we really need to be kind to ourselves so that we can do our best in this shit show of a world, right? Because we are the stewards of creation. So, self-kindness is important, and I have an idea if you're struggling with it, or if you know someone who is. It is a mantra that I discovered through this book, which I've shared with you before, Real Happiness. This is a kind of a beginner's guide to meditation, which Preston and Sarah Cox lent me a couple of years ago, and it's been amazing. And by the way, I suck at meditating and did not finish this book, so let's just get real, because I'd have to meditate to finish it. But it's a really good book, okay? So there was a mantra in here, and the mantra is begin again. And that mantra has single-handedly changed my life, because I realized through meditating, every time my thoughts would wander, that I could just begin again. I didn't have to be like, oh, I suck at meditating, so I'm never going to do it. Or, oh, this sucks, I don't like it. Or, I'm not, like, I give up. I could just accept that the thoughts came, observe them on their way, and begin again. And I realized that this mantra would bleed into the rest of my life. I say it all the time. I tell my people that I love to say it when they're being mean to themselves. Don't beat yourself up. Just begin again. It's okay. You know, your spiritual practice, are you not doing great with it? So what? Begin again. Today's a new day. Tomorrow will be another new day. Who cares? Begin again. Working out. I know that I need to work out because it helps me manage my anxiety, makes me strong. It actually helps me avoid some lingering injuries I struggle with. But I'm not great at it. I don't always like it. And I don't do it as often as I want. And part of me wants to just not do it at all when I miss a day or miss a few days or mess up for a week or whatever. Whatever. Just begin again. Just start over right now. Bad habits. Navigating our relationships. Last year, or I don't remember, maybe the year before last, we did a small group on nonverbal communication and the idea that, or was it nonverbal? No, it was nonviolent communication. And the idea that our communication with each other, with strangers, people on social media, with our partners, with our family, we have habits of communicating that are violent and harmful. And sometimes we can beat ourselves up about that when we do it again and again and again, even though we know better. Let's just begin again. Over and over and over, let's begin again. Our mental health struggles. Our mental health struggles cause us to make decisions that we don't like, to make choices that maybe are sometimes harmful, or to do things that are not always in our control because we struggle mentally. Let's just continue to begin again. I got that idea from this book, and there was one little part that I liked where she says, as you learn how to meditate, almost immediately you'll feel the healing power of being able to begin again. No matter where your attention has gone or for how long, everyone who meditates, beginners and long-term practitioners, they all get hijacked by thoughts and feelings. It's impossible not to. She says, but once you see how doable it is to start over, you won't judge your efforts so harshly, and you'll learn that starting over and not fruitlessly berating yourself are skills you can bring into your everyday life. When you've made a mistake or lost sight of your aspirations, you can begin again. We don't have to exhaust ourselves or beat ourselves up because we've begun to be kinder and more accepting of ourselves. And because we've done this, we can be kinder and more accepting of others. This is something that meditation helps with. So begin again is a mantra I give to you today if you need it. And another practice that I give to you is meditation. Go buy this book. It's really, really good, especially if you struggle with anxiety, which I do. This book is very helpful. Or just take some deep breaths or whatever. But understand that this inner practice, meditation is an inner practice where we learn how to be kind to ourselves, where we learn how to accept ourselves. This is going to really help us with our self-kindness. And I want to read one last little quote from this book to end, because this idea goes back to the Imago Dei theology. Okay? She says, this is about meditating. She says, once I learned how to look deep within, I found the bright vein of goodness that exists in everyone, including me. The goodness that may be hidden and hard to trust, but is never entirely destroyed. I came to believe wholeheartedly that I deserve to be happy. And so does everyone else. Now, when I meet a stranger, I feel more connected, knowing how much we share. And when I meet myself in meditation, I no longer feel I'm encountering a stranger. Because of meditation, I've undergone profound and subtle shifts in the way I think and how I see myself in the world. I've learned that I don't have to be limited. We don't have to be limited to who I thought I was when I was a child, or what I thought I was capable of yesterday, or even an hour ago. My meditation practice has freed me from the old conditioned definition of myself as someone unworthy of love. We are all worthy of love. And if we're people of faith, there's a whole entire robust theology that proves it to us. It's in our spirit, it's in our written word, in our sacred text, it's in the people all around us, the hands and feet of Christ and all of creation. Imago Dei, God in us. We are worthy of love, and it is an imperative that we are kind to ourselves. So that's all I've got. I hope you guys have a great, great day, and I will see you on Sunday with everyone in the Sunday gathering. We are having a guest preacher, Kendall Rothis. Love her. Love her preaching. And of course, tomorrow we'll still have happy hour hit. So we'll see you for those things, and have a great day.